As I was sitting down to film this video, I realized that I haven't actually done a foundation review in quite some time. I'm pretty sure the last one I reviewed was the Tarte Shape Tape foundation, which as you all know was a disaster. But today, I'm trying out the newest L'Oreal Infallible Foundation. This is the 24-hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I'm so excited to try this, you guys. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow are my two favorite foundations. I often mix the two of them together. I'm a little oily to wear this one on its own, but the two of them together are beautiful. And from my understanding, this is going to be almost like a mixture of the two. It's more of a satin finish than a matte or glowy finish. It says it's a natural finish. So I'm so excited to give this a try. Claims to have breathable, buildable coverage up to 24 hours, fresh complexion. They're all 24-hour claim wear time. But of course no one's gonna wear their makeup for that long, so that doesn't make sense. But it is currently 11 o'clock almost. I'm gonna wear this all day, see how it wears. Natural finish, 24-hour wear, medium coverage, and the texture is air light apparently. Now the only thing that I had problems with when I was picking this up is that I'm fairly sure this is not my shade, and I don't think that there was a shade in store that would have matched me. They all seemed very yellow toned. So this is the shade 405, which is Porcelain. I usually mix shade 1 and 2 in the other line, so it's 101 for the Pro Matte and 201 for the Pro Glow. I mean, you'd think it'd be 401 for this shade, but their shades were just kind of all over the place, really. And I tried to kind of match in store. I picked up this one and kind of like put them next together and tried to find the closest shade. Obviously, that's not the best technique for this, but it's what I had available to me at the time. It definitely has a yellow undertone, but we're gonna try it anyways. The thing that I'm even more excited about than the foundation is their new concealer, Infallible Concealer. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. And look how pale that shade is. None of their previous concealers have had this light of a shade. Like they have the, I think it's the Infallible Glow Concealer, or something like that. I've never tried it because they don't have a shade light enough for me. But this, I'm so stoked for. This one I got the lightest shade. Oh, maybe not even. This is Porcelain 320, so there may even be a lighter shade than that. But I mean, these are both supposed to be porcelain. Look at the shade difference. They've definitely got some inconsistencies with their shade range names. I just realized that I was gonna put on brows and eye makeup before I started filming, and then sat down to film and totally forgot. So I'm gonna go put on brows and probably not much eye makeup. I'll be right back. Okay, if you've seen any of my foundation reviews before, you know that I do half my face with a beauty blender and half with a brush. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm also going to prime my face first using my Cover FX Blurring Primer. I use this all the time with all my other foundations, and I know that I like it. I know how it performs under other foundations, so it should be okay under this one. I'm just going to put that mostly in the center of my face and then work my way out. I apologize for the state of my hair. I just got out of the shower, but I wanted to get this video filmed now because I hurt my back yesterday, and I'm hoping I can get through this whole video today because it's still a little sore, so bear with me. I'm going to start by putting in a pump of that on the back of my hand. It actually doesn't look too bad for color today. I compared it to my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, the two shades I have, and this looked very yellow beside it, but we'll see. Dip my brush in and go for it. It has a little bit of a scent to it, like a perfumey, florally scent. You know what, the color's not actually too bad. It actually matches my neck quite nicely. Better than I expected. I'm not a fan of this scent though, which is weird that they have a scent in this one because the other ones don't really have a scent. Okay, that actually blends perfectly into my neck. Like, you can't tell where the foundation ends. So I would say that the coverage is medium. I would say it has slightly less coverage than the Pro Matte, but it's really nice. I would also say that it's more of a matte finish than a natural finish. Like, this is drying down really fast and quite matte. Like, it doesn't even feel sticky to touch or anything. Applied really nicely with the brush. Except for on my nose, it's a little funky around my nose. It's kind of building up in the little crevice around my nose ring, but that happens sometimes. So now I'm going to take another pump and apply that with my beauty blender. Okay, I'm gonna need a second pump. Lately I have not been applying my foundation like this. I don't go straight in with a beauty blender. I actually put it on with a little concealer brush first. I just kind of wipe it onto my face and then I go in and pat it out with the beauty blender. But for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna go straight in. So obviously you do need more if you're using a beauty blender because it does absorb some of the product, but it looks like it's going on pretty nicely. It actually looks more like a natural finish using the beauty blender than it does with the brush. I'm having trouble around my nose. I'm going in with another pump and using the tip of the applicator to get in there. This doesn't happen very often, but I think I like the brush side better. Usually I'm a sucker for my beauty blender. I just feel like it applied more evenly on this side. I'm actually going to go in with a second pump on the brush side and see if I can build it up because there is still some redness and stuff peeking through over here. So I'm just going to load up my brush again and see if we can build this up. That was maybe too much. Second layer with the brush, I think it's probably just because I have too much product on there. It's going on kind of streaky, so I'm just going to tap over it with a sponge just to get rid of the streaks. And again, it's kind of applying funny to my nose. It's slightly buildable. It didn't add a ton more coverage, but it did add a little bit more. You can see that blemish is pretty much gone now, but it is clinging to it a little bit because it's a little dry. So I think probably the way I would apply this in the future is going with a brush first and then kind of dab it with the beauty blender. I feel like it looks really nice on like the larger portions of my face, but my nose and my forehead, it looks a little funny. I'm gonna zoom you guys in and turn down the light a little, see if you can tell a little bit more. Yeah, you can see it's kind of caking up around the edges of my nose and just kind of sitting funny on my nose, but on my actual face it sits really nicely. And my forehead, yeah, it's clinging to like the little dry patches around these breakouts. I think the biggest thing I'm shocked by though is the color match. It actually looks really good and it doesn't seem to be oxidizing or getting darker at all. That's a good sign. I think I'd want to try this one again using my Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer and see if that helps give it more of a natural finish. I'll definitely have to play around with that. Now I'm going to go in with the concealer. Again, this is shade 320 Porcelain. It's got the huge doe foot applicator like the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. So I'm going to go in. Ooh, look at that color though. That's like perfect. It's so nice and light and will actually give me some brightening under my under eyes. Excited to see how the formula is. This has like no scent. I'd be interested to go back and get a shade that's more my actual skin tone and see how that is for like helping to cover blemishes and stuff. This is obviously not something I want to put on my blemishes because it's going to be too light. Look how nice and brightening that is. You know what? I feel like the coverage and the way this applies is very similar to Tarte Shape Tape. Like very similar, except for it doesn't dry as fast. It's not quite as thick and sticky. You know how with Tarte Shape Tape you've got to work real fast to get it blended out? I feel like this actually blends out easier because you have a little more dry time with it. It's actually really beautiful. Okay, L'Oreal, finally nailing it with the concealer. I think this was like $12, maybe $14. This is a huge container. So my usual drugstore concealer is the Fit Me from Maybelline, and this has 0.23 fluid ounce. This one has 0.33 fluid ounce, so another 0.10 ounces more in this one. It is more expensive than the Fit Me one, but I gotta say, as of right now, I like the formula of this better than the Fit Me concealer. Okay, I'm gonna set this with my Kat Von D Lock-It powder because that's the powder I've been using lately. Although I feel like if you had dry skin, I probably wouldn't set this, the foundation. I'd probably still set concealer, but the foundation I probably wouldn't even set because like it's totally dried right down. But because I'm oily, and this will probably get oily throughout the day. You know what? Maybe I'll set half of it. So I already set my under eyes, but I'll set just half of my face with powder. So I'm going to set this side, and we'll see how oily I get by the end of the day. I'm gonna go finish up my makeup and then I'll check in when I'm done with that. I gotta say, the bronzer actually blended out really nice without setting the foundation, which was really good. Bronzer went on okay over there. Highlight went on great, obviously, because it's highlighter. I did set everything with the Mario Badescu facial spray. And now I'm just gonna see how it wears throughout the day. It still looks about the same as it did before I put everything else on. It hasn't darkened or anything. You can see on the side it hasn't deepened up where I didn't set it. Still matches me pretty good. Concealer looks a little bit dry on my under eyes, but we'll see how that wears throughout the day. I will check back with you guys later when I have worn this for a couple hours. It's now like 4 o'clock, between 3:30 and 4. I just picked up my kids and did a few errands. From far away it looks stunning. Ooh, looking on the screen it looks real good. This side that I didn't set has not gotten oily at all. And the side that I did set still looks good. It is settling into my smile lines a little bit. Wow, I have lipstick on my face. It's pretty much just looking the same way it did when I put it on, really, which is a good thing. So I put it on around 10 this morning, so about 6 hours of wear already. I'm impressed. It looks really good. Oh yeah, I have new concealer on too. I forgot about that. I feel like the concealer is actually breaking up a little bit underneath my eyes, which is a little weird. Well, I'm gonna keep wearing it throughout the day and I will update you guys in another couple of hours. Okay, it's the end of the day. It's 7 o'clock, end of my day. Kids just went to bed, so I'm ready to take off my makeup and chill on the couch, which I've basically been doing all day anyways because back injury, but anyways, I'm ready to get this off my face. There's virtually no difference between the side that I set and the side that I didn't. So if you are looking for a foundation that you don't want to set, this is a good option. That being said, it is definitely a matte finish, not a natural finish. Like, this is still very matte looking. Like, I'm not shiny at all. And there's a few spots where it's starting to break up around my nose. It's been, what, 9 hours now? So I mean, it makes sense that it's starting to break up a little bit, even though it claims to be 24-hour wear. I'm not too hard on that because it's drugstore foundation. It's pretty much gone right here. I've also been touching my face a lot, and so there's spots where it's, wow, I have lipstick everywhere and butthole lips. I haven't touched up any of my makeup today at all because, well, I've been home all day. It's looking real rough around this little blemish. This one actually doesn't look too bad. You know what? I think I'm gonna enjoy this foundation. It's still not as good as the original Infallible Pro Matte or Pro Glow, but I think I really enjoy this. I definitely want to try it out with a more luminizing primer. I think I'd like the finish of it a little bit better because I do like a little bit of dewiness, but then I would also set it because I don't want to get too dewy throughout the day. On screen it still looks fantastic. I'm gonna zoom you in and turn off the lights a little bit. So you can see right there, it's starting to come off. Oh yeah, the concealer. Yeah, it's still looking a little crinkly under the eyes. I don't know if I just didn't set it properly or what's going on with that. I'll have to try that out some more. It's a little weird on my nose. And then there's definitely spots where I've had my hands on my face and it's wiped away. And this looks like a mess, but that's because it's all dried out and gross. But I mean, for 9 hours of wear, that's not bad. Well, I gotta say, this has been more successful than some of their other Infallible attempts. You guys already know I don't like the Infallible Total Cover, I think it is. It comes in a tube kind of like this, but it's more narrow. And it's super thick, like moussey foundation, which is gross. And I also recently tried their Infallible Longwear Shaping Stick, which I don't love as a foundation, but I think I want to try it in a darker formula to do like cream contour with, but the actual foundation, not a fan of. And I got the shade 401 in this one, so it doesn't make sense that I'm 405 in this one. That's the same color. They need to get better at making their shade names consistent. But I think this is definitely going to go into my foundation rotation. And then this, I definitely need to try a few more times to see if I actually like it or not. Initially, I loved it. It went on really well. It blended really well. Throughout the day, I'm not loving how it sat on my skin and it's totally broken up in spots. But you know what? I'm going to keep trying it out, see if I can make it work. Well, I hope that was a helpful review for you guys. Let me know if you've tried it out, what your thoughts are on it. And I'll see you in my next video. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following me on Instagram too. Okay, bye.